Welcome to day 206 of our DSO journey, sponsored by CloutFeed. I'm Ed Krasenstein, here with my twin brother, Brian. And what do we have to say about CloutFeed today, Brian?
Another feature that you can find on CloutFeed that you can't find elsewhere is that you can actually use hashtags to find posts that you're interested in. So check that out.
Cool. So not really too much news. Again, the weekends are usually slow in DSO world, but Natter did make a few posts and a few comments on other posts. Yesterday, he made a post about I guess it was early this morning, he made a post about the fund, the Octane fund. And he said he wants to make it more decentralized, how the fund decides who and what companies or what nodes or developers to invest into. And I agree. I think that's a great idea. I think the community should have a say in where some of that funding goes. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I think it's supposed to be a decentralized protocol. I mean, we're not totally there yet, but I think that anything you can do to make it a community-based decision helps. Now, I mean, they can't just leave it totally up to the community, I don't think at this point, but I think that they should give the community a super strong say in it because we want to all feel like we're contributing. Like some projects that we like might not totally appeal to this core team, but I think that if the community really thinks one project deserves funding, I think that they should definitely take that into account.
I think they could have some sort of survey, and maybe if you've been active on the platform, I made a reply to his post. Maybe let's say you've been active and you've made at least 2 posts per week for 7 out of the last 10 weeks. You should get a vote in the matter. Or I mean, that's just an example. Maybe it could be more lenient than that, or more broad than that. But I mean, I don't think you can just open it up for anybody to vote on because there's going to be bots voting. So you got to kind of weed out bots and stuff. And I think you want people who are more active in the community, who have been taking part in the community, rather than somebody who just signs up just to vote. So I think there's ways to do it, and I definitely think the community should have a huge say in it.
Yeah, I'm happy to see them talking about the Octane fund. I know a lot of people got a little bit discouraged because Diamond App got funding and it was away from the Octane fund. And some developers were, I think, a little bit peeved that, hey, why did they get the funding? We could have used the funding. But I think we kind of talked about that yesterday, and I think they just needed a new UI. The core team wants to take they want to take the blockchain and work with a blockchain and add features to the blockchain. They don't want to have to be dealing with front end nodes. So I think this was a handoff of sorts to Zeller and his team. And I think it was a good move. I can understand people being a little bit upset, I guess. But I mean, ultimately, this was money that Natter raised. It's money that he's gonna be pumping back into developers. It's just they need more time. They need more time to basically figure out which projects should get the money, which projects might not be ready, which projects are just not worth it.
Yeah, so I mean, we'll see how it unfolds, but I think this is a good sign. Natter also replied to a post that we made yesterday about the referral program kind of being not working so well. It seems like there's a lot of, to us, it seems like there's a lot of bots signing up, or people signing up with their own accounts somehow and then transferring the money out of DSO. I've made a post showing an example, but there's a lot of them out there. It's these accounts sign up and literally moments after getting the $100, they're transferring the $100 to another account. So to me, that looks like they're kind of just trying to siphon the referral commission out of DSO and taking it as a profit themselves. But Natter did reply, and he did say that they're monitoring the situation very, very closely, which I'm sure they are. But so far, the majority of the accounts that are getting these referrals do appear to be legitimate to them. I'm not sure exactly how they're, legitimizing it. Are they simply using Jumio to do that? I don't know. I think there's probably some good ways around Jumio. If you can just get somebody else's ID, you could pay somebody $20 to let them to basically use their identity for a minute. I'm sure there's a lot of tricks that scammers and stuff can use to get around some of the protections that are in place. But it's good that they're monitoring it, and I hope they continue to do so.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, if say they give away this $100 reward to 10,000 people and 10,000 referrals, that's what, $2 million. I don't think it's going to make a huge impact on the treasury. A lot of these users are going to be obviously legit. I
Yeah.
think Natter's kind of using it as like thinking, hey, if 80% of these are legit, it's well worth it.
Yeah,
And
but
we do need,
you also have to see it from the point of view from creators on the platform who have been putting their all into the platform every day, and they see $2 million being siphoned out to scammers perhaps, and they're not really getting much benefit. Might not be getting any benefit, and so that can be discouraging to some users. I can see it from their point of view.
yeah, indeed. And I think Natter did point out like some people do have concerns over these scammers and these people that are trying to fool the system, cashing out these $100 over and over again and tanking the price. But I mean, he did bring up a good point in that the volume of outgoing referral money is really minute compared to some of these other transactions. I mean, right before we started recording this, I saw I think 3 or 4 transactions where somebody bought close to $130,000 worth of DSO from the Green Dot bot. So, I mean, I don't think it's having a massive impact on the price of DSO. I don't know how much they've dished out yet in referrals, but every day you see large buys come in, also large sells. So I don't think it's going to have a major impact.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think that's impacting the price very much. But like I said, I think it's can be discouraging for users who see this money outflowing or this money being taken by people who haven't been on the platform. People are just signing up just to get the money while they've been on the platform for maybe 3 months, posting every day and taking part in the community. So
ideally, you'd like to see this money work back into the community. So
yeah.
buying creator coins, giving diamonds. So maybe, and I don't know how well this would go over with new users, but maybe they could add in a stipulation like you can't take it out for 10 days or something like that. But I'm sure that would cause another issue
Or
where people are saying, hey,
require user activity. I don't know. I've been checking the chain surf for the last few days. I mean, I've been checking the chain surf for the last few months, but in the last few days, I've noticed the vast majority of new accounts that are signing up and reducing their founder reward, the vast majority, I'd say over 70%, to me appear to be fake accounts that are just being set up with a bogus picture, a username that doesn't make any sense, and they're just sitting there. And I don't know if they're taking the money, taking the referral commission or what, but there's still a ton of bots that are signing up. But I say bots, maybe they're not actually automated. Maybe they're people signing up with just signing up really quickly, creating a username, uploading any image they can think of, and just to get the referral commission. So it's still an issue, I think.
Well, yeah, and I feel that if you start requiring user activity, you're just going to get a lot of crappy user activity. So the same people that are cashing out, they're just going to say, hey, I'll just make 10 quick posts and then I can cash my money out. So it's tough. It's a tough situation. I think that if they lower the reward a little bit, I think that might still stimulate actual users to start referring, because I want to refer people regardless, even if I'm not getting anything, because I want to build the community up. And so I think that maybe a lower price would still stimulate the same activity and maybe avoid some of the activity from the scammers.
Yeah, but I mean, then there's a tutorial that's still kind of buggy. The tutorial needs work. And when you're onboarding people, you want them to be able to learn through the tutorial. So that's something else that needs to be fixed. And then the whole Jumio thing's still not working up to par. People in certain countries can't refer people. People in certain countries can't get verified by the Jumio system. So those who refer them aren't getting their commission. So there's issues that, it's growing pains. And I think it's a really good idea that they started rolling the referrals out slowly at first so that they could kind of figure out what's going on before, massively giving referrals to everyone. But it's growing pains, and I think they're going to be worked out. At least I hope they are. And there's a bright future ahead as long as all that can go right.
Agreed.
So this week's Natterhead week we're working with Martijn van Halen and his two brothers, Bas and Wouter, to create the Natterheads NFT series. And the Genesis series is going to be 100 Natterheads. And the very number one will be dropped on Wednesday, we have a clubhouse room where we're going to be dropping at least 20 of these Natterheads. And the first one's going to be auction format for probably about 15 minutes. And then the ones we drop after that will be just first bid. And we plan on having the first bid of being 0.75 DSO, at least for the first 70 or so of these. And we're looking forward to it. They're really cool. There's some with super rare traits. You'll have to learn about that after the series releases. We won't be releasing any of the rarities until everyone in the first series, the Genesis series, sell. But you can check out the Natterheads. It will be a link down below this video. And we've posted 2 of the Natterheads so far. We might post as many as 5 before we start minting them on Wednesday. So on Monday, tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern time, the coin's going to open up on Natterheads. So anybody who wants to buy the coin can do so. Then on Wednesday at 1 p.m. Eastern time, we're going to start minting them probably around 1:15 p.m. Eastern time, but the clubhouse room is going to start at 1 p.m. Eastern time.
And I just want to add in there that on Wednesday in that clubhouse room, we're going to be giving away a lot of prizes. So stay tuned for that. You're gonna definitely want to show up for that. And on Monday, we might also have a clubhouse room just for the coin opening and to just talk about the series a little bit if you're interested in that. So stay tuned for the next few days.
All right, and I think that's it. Remember, all these videos are being minted as NFTs. If you want, the first bidder gets it at 0.25 DSO. I think that's all we have today, Brian.
Yeah, happy end of your weekend.
Yeah, talk to everybody tomorrow.